Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm just sitting here in my robe drinking my morning coffee looking sexy as hell as usual. And for those of you who say I don't look sexy as hell when I do these videos in my robe, nobody cares what you think. I didn't ask you shit. So I want to talk a little bit about losing weight when you've been sick, sedentary, things like that. If you don't have a gym membership, you can't do that much physical activity. How do people go about doing this? I've personally had to do this. As most of you guys know who followed my story, I spent over a year in bed. I had to take almost 4 years off from lifting due to doctor's orders. But yeah, 10 months pretty much bedridden. And during that time period, I was really depressed. I was at probably the lowest point in my life. My Meniere's disease had exacerbated and had gone bilateral in both of my ears. I had lost my ability to really get up and walk around without vomiting. My first marriage had fallen apart. My mother had died not that long before that. And my grandfather, who was her father, had also died, and he was my primary male role model and mentor because my father wasn't always there for me in the way that I needed him to be. So the two most important people in my family to me had died. I had gotten really sick. My marriage fell apart. I lost my corporate job. I had pretty much lost most of my assets, and I was now physically sick. I had gone from still being able to train all the time, being able to bench 400 pounds, being able to squat 550 raw at that time, to being stuck in bed. And because of that, I was definitely depressed. I wasn't really looking at the future, and people brought me tons of junk. I always had people bringing me sodas, cakes, ice creams, pies, all the time. And when you're sedentary and depressed and you have all those high calorie foods available to you that people bring to you all the time, you're going to gain weight. You're going to gain weight really fast. And I did. So I put on something like 100 pounds of fat. So how did I lose the first 70? Well, when I finally decided that I was going to fight back, I was going to try to get up out of bed. I was going to try to learn to walk again after not really having walked much further than the bathroom or anything for about 10 months. So just kind of staying inside the house and spending 95% of my time in bed and only getting up when I was really able to. I decided to get up and try to walk again, but I didn't have a gym membership. I didn't even have money for a gym membership. I didn't have a vehicle I could drive at the time. I had to sell both of my cars, and where I lived there wasn't public transportation. So I had to lose weight the old-fashioned way. I pretty much went on a ketogenic diet, and I started learning to walk again. By getting up and walking, the first time I really tried to get out of the house and really walk a distance on my own, I made it about 6 houses down in the neighborhood. Managed to regain myself, catch my breath again, and get up and turn around and walk back home. The next day I made it 10 houses. And eventually I got to where I could just walk around the block several times every day, just get up and walk for 30 minutes a day. And I did body weight stuff at home. When I first started trying to do resistance training again, I couldn't squat my own body. I had to hold onto the back of a chair and squat doing that. But eventually I got to where I could do body weight squats. I got to where I could do push-ups, and I had a little pair of dumbbells. I actually had a couple different sets of dumbbells, some 10s and 15s and 25s, and I managed to lose 70 pounds at home with no gym, purely through a ketogenic diet, spending 30 minutes a day or more walking, doing body weight squats, push-ups, and messing with 10 to 25 pound dumbbells at home. I still couldn't walk without a cane. Mind you, I was walking all around that block with a cane. I was still medically prescribed to walk with a cane because I had no sense of balance. I hadn't learned to rebuild that yet. But that is what I did, just body weight stuff at home and little lightweight things that I had, walking, and just a basic ketogenic diet. Took 70 pounds off of me from being obese and sedentary with just those changes, and it wasn't a big time commitment. So when you have people who are like, well, I've been sick, I've been have medical issues, or I just can't get to a gym, a good diet's too hard to follow, I pretty much lived on eggs, ground beef, and a little bit of green veggies during that time. And it worked. My food bill was only about $4 a day, maybe $5 a day tops. I had access to no real equipment other than a few light dumbbells, and yet I still managed to lose 70 pounds. So it can absolutely be done by people in even the most terrible of situations. It can be done. You just have to find a way, and you have to find a way to get up and motivate yourself to do so. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. And if you guys like this video, or you enjoy my work in general, Please remember to click like down below. I know they are currently turned off for public view, but they still count. I will turn those back on here later. And please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and to share this video with any of your friends and family who you think might enjoy it or learn from it. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.